All right.
I want to jump right into the first topic.
Which topic is going to be first?
Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi.
So, like we said, it was good, and we can say nothing else.
All right, moving on.
Moving on? No.
No.
No, Tales of the Jedi is, I tell you what, after watching it, the thing I keep thinking of is what comes next. Like, what's the next?
Sure.
Right now, because we have an Ahsoka Dooku story that kind of, like I said this on Twitter, but like it asks the same question of each of those characters, and they have very different answers.
Yeah.
And I think rather than just like trying to find an interesting pair of characters to go together, asking the same question of different characters, I think is going to be more interesting. So I hope we get that with more Tales of the Jedi.
Sure.
Yeah.
The only like main drawback of the show that
Yeah.
I had was that as opposed to I think like Mandalorian or even Bad Batch, I think that a lot of those you can kind of just, if you've never really seen much of Star Wars or haven't watched Clone Wars, I think you can start Bad Batch and be like, okay, I'm understanding who these characters are. I'm getting a feel of what's going on,
Yeah.
and I know like where we are with all of it. I really think Tales of the Jedi, like you should probably have a little bit of like the movies or Clone Wars or some of that kind of stuff to really kind of, it doesn't hold your hand with a lot of this stuff.
No.
But it really adds to, I think, a lot of the lore of those characters.
I think you're right. I think there's elements that if you've just watched the movies, let's say, that you'd be like, oh, okay, I see what they're going there. That's interesting. Who's that? But, yeah, not so much on all of it. It's very much like supplemental material. Like
I think so.
A character study of a character you should already know.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Studies.
I mean, it would be interesting to see what people's thoughts are if you like, I don't really know Star Wars, let me watch this Tales of the Jedi thing.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see what people think of it that way. But I think from a standpoint of like, I've watched like everything.
Yeah.
I was like, I want more of this. I want more Jedi stories. Take more pairs of Jedis from same eras, different eras, whatever you want to do, and have some fun with this. And tell me some 10-minute, 15-minute, 17-minute, whatever stories. It doesn't have to be a whole season of everything. Just like add a little bit to these characters. And the Ahsoka stuff I thought was okay. Like I still enjoyed it, but the Dooku stuff I thought was really good. Like I like that a lot.
Yeah. I don't like to rank things, but I agree.
Yeah, no, I know, right? And I love Ahsoka. Ahsoka's awesome.
Ahsoka's amazing.
Great character.
I was probably most emotional with some of the Ahsoka stuff, but the Dooku stuff made me be like, oh, well, I'm never going to rewatch that guy again. The same way.
Yeah. It's kind of like when we've I don't know if we ever said about here, but like the Plagueis books, right? Is also it's a way of like when that's canon before it like got turned into Legends, it really changes when you're rewatching episode 1, elements from that book. If you filter that through that, you're like, oh man, this is really cool. I didn't know this was a thing. So I thought that was really neat.
Yeah. No, I also think, and we're going to be having reactions come out as soon as this thing drops. We already recorded them, and we'll let you know right now. We're going to be reacting to all 6 right away. They're going to be in 2 different videos, 3 episodes per video is the plan. So we're going to have a much longer discussion in those that you can check out later.
Yes.
But I will say, my favorite thing about Tales of the Jedi is it really does feel like a continuation of just like artists that we've watched since the beginning of Clone Wars, right? Since 2008. Grow and grow and grow and grow and just get better and better and better and better.
Oh, yeah.
The voice acting.
Really good.
The rendering.
Really
the
good.
animation.
Really good. Anything else?
The Kiner music. The Kevin Kiner music.
That's really good,
Kevin
too.
and his brother, of course, but like it's never been better. Little side characters that you can see in the background that you're like, man, that's so much better than when we saw little side characters in the background of season 2 of the Clone Wars, where it was like, well, that's the bad guy from last arc reskinned or something. No, everybody is crystal clarity to the point where I'm like, who the hell is this? I love their design. I don't know who that is. I must find out.
I want to see more of them.
Which isn't something I really feel that much in Star Wars animation. You get that in the movies all the time, right? Which is like, who is the guy he's like a big giant praying mantis? Who's that?
You know? Well, there's a lot of Clone Wars elements where it's just like, oh, that's that guy just reskinned and put over here, so I don't really care who he is. Like he just looks like everyone else. But there's also one character too that isn't one of the 2 main characters of this that it gave so much more from what they have from like other lore that I know of them from. Where I'm like, oh, this is awesome and I love it. Yeah. So I hope people are excited for it and I hope people watch it, and then we can talk about it even more like next Badonka Gonk or something like that with people. And maybe at a tie-in with like another book in the future, we can talk about that and everything too, and tie-ins. I think we covered a good little bit of like, for the most part, we really enjoyed it. You guys should definitely watch it. And then I wanted to hear some people's thoughts after they see it. Like,
absolutely.
Like, send us tweets to Badonkagonk or to us or to Blind Wave or whatever, and let us know some of your thoughts, because I really enjoyed it, and I hope other people do too.
Me too. The few nice things that we've said so far is like super low on my list of the things I enjoyed about it.
I want to say so much more,
but I don't want to ruin it for people. That's
exactly
how much it was for me. So
it just, I know like some of the streaming stuff we've had lately, there's a lot of like, I don't like this and this is bad and whatever, but I'm like, I hope you don't complain about this, because I had a lot of fun watching this. Yeah. So, and there's something about animation too, where it's like, there's a little bit more leeway with some of the characters, like getting to have Count Dooku, like, you know, Christopher Lee has passed, and
it feels
Corey Burton doing the voice of him is really good, and it does such a good job. And I'm like, I just believe that he's here, and they model him like a young Christopher Lee.
Looks great.
It's so good. So I'm excited for more, and I hope they keep doing more Tales of the Jedi. If they did more Dooku or Ahsoka, whatever, cool. But I wouldn't mind them just touching on different Jedi and stuff. Go into the original trilogy, go into the sequel trilogy. Like, that's one thing too, is like sequel trilogy has nothing like fleshing anything out really. They've kind of like abandoned that. But just as we go on, I'm hoping for just more, like just add some more and fill in some gaps and stuff. So
I think the big, like a really big thing that happened in the fandom in the last couple years is like when Dave Filoni mentioned the Duel of the Fates stuff in the Mandalorian behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, man, George Lucas knows what he was talking about. You know, where it's like, this stuff is deeper than just like shiny stick hits
That's
shiny
a cool
stick.
fight.
And it's stuff like Tales of the Jedi that like holy shit, it keeps going.
Yeah, right.
Like, the Duel of the Fates is so important. It's great.
It's really good.
Anyway, that's
Love
my
it so
only
much.
tease.
So,
which is what I put on Twitter as well. So.